Okay, here we go. We are going to start on a new section. It's called Simplifying Rational Expressions. We're going to define it first. The definition of a rational expression is the ratio of two polynomials. Okay, it's rational because one is divided by the other. Let me see if I can spell divided right for you guys. Let's try that again. Divided by the other. Like a ratio. So there's our definition of a rational expression. In order to simplify them, we have 4 simple steps. The first thing is factor. I know that we factored before, and we're going to do it again. So factor anything that can be factored, anything. 2, simplify the monomial using the exponent rules. 3, eliminate any common binomial factors. And 4, write what's left. So we're gonna divide this lesson up into like 4 separate videos, 4 separate things. So here's the first one, is a monomial by a monomial. So here we go. Number 1. I'm gonna make this a little bigger so you guys can see it a little better. Here we go. So I'm gonna do the numbers first. So what goes into both 12 and 48? Well, 12 does, right? So 12 goes into 12 1 time and into 48 4 times. So we've got 1 over 4 so far. So that takes care of our numbers, but now we need to do our variables. So we have 1y on top. So I come down here, I can say I have 1y on top and I have 3 y's on bottom. So I have 1 over 1 makes a 1, right? So I have no y's left on top and 2 y's left on bottom. So that would be 1 over 4y squared would be my answer. Okay, we're going to do it again. Maybe, if I can move this. Here we go. So I need to know what goes into 21 and 35. You're right, 7 does. So 7 goes into 21 3 times and into 35 5 times. So I've got equals 3 over 5 so far. And then my variables, I have 1a on top and 1b on top. And bottom I have 1a and 2 b's. So I'm going to cross off everything that has, or make a 1 out of everything that has 1 on top and the same thing on the bottom. So that means I have 1a and 1b. And what's left is 1b on the bottom or in the denominator. So I have 3 over 5b, which is my answer. Okay. So we're going to go on and try the next problem, which is number 3 here. We're doing exactly the same thing for the first 6 problems. We're just going to do the same thing over and over again. So what goes into 8 and 24? Well, 8 does. 8 goes into 8 1 time and into 24 3 times. And so that gives me 1 over 3. And then I'm going to do my variables. So I've got m and m. That gives me m squared and n. And I have m and 3 n's on the bottom. So 1 m on top and 1 m on bottom goes away. And 1 n on top and 1 n on bottom goes away. So that means I have an m on top and 2 n's on bottom, which gives me m over 3n squared. And there's your answer. Okay. So now we're going to go down to numbers 4. And what goes into both 16 and 36? Well, let's go with 4 first and see what we get after that. So 4 goes into 16 4 times, and 4 goes into 36 9 times. So we have 4 over 9. And then I've got 3 x's and 3 y's. And then I have 5 x's, 2, 3, 5, and 2 y's. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So that gives me 1 y on top and 2 x's on bottom. So I'm going to rewrite that so it looks a little better. So 4y over 9x squared. Okay, so notice when I get done with all my answers, there's only one of each variable, and either on the top or the bottom, but there's only one x and one y. There's not a y in both the top and the bottom. There's only one, and my numbers are down as low as possible. So that's what we want to do, simplify it as low as possible. So now we're going to go to number 5. Okay, what goes into both 12 and 40? How about 4? Let's try 4. I think 4 was going to work. So 4 goes into 12 3 times, and 4 goes into 40 10 times. So that gives me a 3 over 10. And then I'm going to try not to write out my numbers, my letters this time. I've got 2 A's on top and 3 A's on bottom. That means my 2 on top are going to go away, and I'm going to have 1 left on bottom. I have 1 on bottom and 3 B's on top. That means instead of 3, I'm going to have 2. So that gives me B squared over A. So let me show you what that would look like if we wrote it out. So I'd have A times 3 B's over 3 A's and a B. So I've got my A's gone here and one of my B's here. So that leaves me with B squared over A. So 3B squared over 10A. Okay, so whichever way is easiest for you, as long as you get the right answer. You guys already know that. That's what we're trying to accomplish here. So here we go. Next, what goes into 6 and 3? Well, 3 does, obviously. So 3 goes into 3 1 time and into 6 2 times. So that gives me 2 over 1. Okay? And then we've got an X, a Y, and 3 Z's. And then on the bottom, I've got 2 X's, 2 Y's, and 1 Z. So 1 X goes away, 1 Y goes away, and 1 Z goes away. So on top, I've got Z squared, and an X and a Y. So my answer will be 2Z squared over XY. Okay, so after this, we're going to have you do a few problems on homework, just to make sure that you can simplify a monomial. So please go ahead and do those few problems, and we will be back in a few moments. Thank you.